Boom! What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, CEO, MTS Nutrition, Chief Marketing Officer, TigerFitness.com, creator of the Outright Bar, as well as partner in Ambrosia. When you were on YouTube, and I was going through editing, uploading, whatever it is, and I stay out of the topical videos, and those get views. Like back when I used to do the topic videos, calling out names, creating all kinds of drama. Not only did I get death threats, but also I got a ton of views. And I decided to get away from that because I don't think that's where I want to take my life. And honestly, YouTube for me is a way to educate my customers from TigerFitness.com, a way to potentially get new customers for TigerFitness.com, the Outright Bar, Ambrosia, MTS. My goal here is to motivate, entertain, as well as educate. When I'm on YouTube, all the channels I subscribe and have the notification to, which are good friends of mine like Mike Rashid and Chris Jones, and I have Kenny KO and a bunch of other guys at Nick Strength and Power. I see all these little notifications coming through about, you know, a very, very, very popular, probably most popular fitness YouTuber of all time, AthleanX, being accused of fake weights, number one. And I don't think anybody's, I'll get into my opinion on that. And number two, being on steroids. And then I saw something with this this guy, he has a very high-pitched voice. I can't think of his, Doucette, where he was, he called him out and said he's not natural. So there's this big hubbub. And first of all, I want to say that while it is part of the YouTube fitness community, I think it's kind of corny. You got a bunch of adults arguing about who's natty, who's using fake weights. It's kind of silly, and I was guilty of doing that for a long time. But I think we need to put in perspective on, it's definitely befitting to, call people out for being disingenuous. I'm good with that. At the same time, it almost seems like it's the same cycle we repeat every 6 or 8 months, where there's just this big war about somebody doing this, that, and the other. I'll be real, back when we were able to raise over $70,000, the Real Weights for Real Heroes, part of that came about from me calling out Brad Castleberry for using fake weights and challenging him to a liftoff at the Real Weights for Real Heroes, where we ended up turning it into something very positive and raising over $70,000 at that one event for the Semper Fi Fund to benefit our brave men and women who have served in the military. I did that, but that was calling someone out. But simply stating natty, not natty, fake weights, all what we're seeing here is essentially people just hopping onto clickbait because people like to see drama. Now, let me give you my take on fake weights. I don't like using them. The only time I ever used fake weights was in a photo shoot in 2011 with, believe it or not, Muscle Tech. At the beginning of the day of this photo shoot, I actually tore my hamstring doing sprints in a video on how to sprint, which obviously my sprinting technique wasn't good enough to prevent a torn hamstring. Later on in the day, I said, nope, I'm not calling this off. I flew all the way to Canada. I'm gonna grind it out. Just bit my tongue, bit my cheek, and went to work, did the videos. They came out really well. But at the end of the day, I had to demonstrate leg training. And I put on an extra 2 45-pound plates that were fake. They couldn't have weighed 5-7 pounds each on each side, so it looked more respectable than doing 135. It's the only time I've used fake weights in my life. Now, the reason I'm going on this is I think I'm kind of pro and con fake weights. One thing is, a lot of these guys, they use every camera angle you can, every lighting advantage they can, because social media is fake. It is 90% fake. There's some real people out there. I'll tell you what, Mr. Olympia Brandon Curry, everything he does is unfiltered. I see him train at the gym. What you see is what you get. But then you have, back in the day, you had Devin Physique, who I swear to God, the first time I saw him at a trade show, I saw him and I thought he weighed 200. I thought he was my size, like 215, 220. Dude wasn't a pound over 158, like just a small, meek dude. But in pictures with the lighting and the Photoshop and the this and the that, he looked bigger. So bottom line is, why do we expect this degree of realness on YouTube because it's video? Like, look at Tom Cruise. That's all it is. It's entertainment. Dude, here's the deal. We don't have cable at my new house. We just use Netflix and whatever. And realize this fakeness has been going on for years. When I worked at Weider back in 1999, 2000, I picked up my first fake weight. And I was like, this is amazing. It said 70 on it, but it couldn't have weighed more than 7. And I'm like, this is insane. insane. Tom Cruise, in real life, he's like my height, if not shorter. On film, he looks 6'2". All right, now the camera angles we use on my video, what you see is what you get. I don't look that impressive. However, I guarantee you this, I will wipe the floor with 95% of these YouTube gurus on stage because I'm not faking the funk. I have a guy who could do Photoshop on full-time staff to my photos, but that'd be a lie. That'd be disingenuous. However, you reap what you sow. What gets the views? What gets the likes? Well, it's the girls with Botox and Photoshop, and it's the dudes who angle the shit out of everybody and touch up and Photoshop the shit out of their photos. So you got someone like AthleanX who's doing these videos, these tutorials on deadlifts. And I believe he had 495 on a deadlift. And it was evidently, unless the dude is very deceiving, like I don't think he's on steroids at all, to be honest with you. Like he looks athletic. I just went and watched my daughter play soccer today with a bunch of professional soccer players from overseas who are in town due to the lockdowns, right? And they're all playing this huge scrimmage. There's 30 professional athletes, right? They have their shirt off. They don't look that much smaller. They don't look that much worse than Jeff. I think he's 100% natty. Whether he's on HRT or not, I don't give a shit. At the end of the day, if he's on 12 grams of D-bol a day, I don't give a fuck either. At the end of the day, that's his choice. Why would he use fake weights? And look, he could very well be deadlifting 495, but it looked too effortless for 295. Like even when I'm changing my kids' weights and I'm moving the bar, my kids deadlift between 225 and 315, and they're 14 and 12. When I pick up 225 pounds, it doesn't look as easy as Jeff made that look, and I'm way bigger than Jeff, even with fake numbers. You know what I mean? Like I'm just a big, strong dude. It is what it is. Not tall, I'm very short. So why would Jeff use fake weights? Well, because you need to. Like he's the most popular YouTuber. If he's demonstrating a deadlift of 135, it just looks cheesy, you know, and that's part of how I'm guessing, he's built his empire. He has, sells these workbooks. Part of how he makes his money is these views, these million+ view YouTube videos, right? Yeah, of course you have to do it. Why? Because to play in that game, you need to fucking do it. Because everybody does. Posting a picture in shape without using Photoshop, as someone like me who's 100% real, it's just not as impressive as the guy who makes. Kai Green got caught Photoshop. Kai Green, who looks 10 times better than me, got caught making himself bigger. Why? Because they make their money on social media. And that's why they make their money, because they're putting out something so spectacular, so unbelievable that it almost has to be a lie. And I'm not mad at that. Like that's their livelihood. That's how they make money. For me, I could cut off all my social media tomorrow. I'm good. I do this because I enjoy talking to you guys. Same reason I do lives on my Instagram every night from my sauna, because I enjoy talking to you guys and I enjoy kind of educating you on what's really going on. Same thing I do with my political views on Twitter. I like discussion. I like dialogue. It's just what I do. I don't have to do these videos. It's optional. It's optional. And there's not even any extra credit. In fact, they probably hurt me more than they help me because I only get like 12 views on YouTube videos now anyway. It doesn't matter. I just do it for those who want to see it. If you don't want to see it, that's fine. I'm going to put it out there, right? I'll teach you how to fish, but I'm not just going to give you the fish. And if you don't like the fish in the lake, then fuck it. Go watch someone else. I'm good with that. That doesn't bother me. So what I'm getting at is, the reason Jeff would use fake weights and why you shouldn't care about it is because you're the ones demanding it. It's all by public opinion. If everybody had a public outcry, as they did with Brad Castleberry and his fake weights. By the way, the kid is obscenely strong and obscenely good looking. He's a physical specimen. I'm not knocking the guy. I'm just saying he uses fake weights. That doesn't mean he's not stronger than me or bigger than me or better looking than me. That just means I am 99.9% sure that some of his videos are using fake weights. And if I'm wrong, then he is the strongest man in the fucking world and I will bow to him. For now, he's just an average jabroni who's lying to the public. And that's what you see on Instagram, that's see on YouTube, that's see on Facebook, that's see on Twitter. You see a bunch of what people want you to see. And the stuff they do right that's supposedly being real and stuff, that's all to trick y'all into believing that they are one of you. And they have problems. They do have problems. They don't want to tell you about it. And their problems are probably fake problems anyway. You don't see anybody be like, man, you know what? It's like, oh, we're so happy, we're in love. And I try to talk about real stuff that happens in my life. Like my wife and I had problems back in the day, right? We haven't always been in this honeymoon phase we've been in for the last 4 years or 3 years or whatever. But guess what? That took work getting there. And that's where there's people like myself, like Brandon Curry, like his wife, like Steve Kuklo, like those guys who really get out there and you know, my buddy Jason Poston, they get out there and they tell you the truth. The Bomars are phenomenal at that. They're not afraid to tell you their opinion. It might hurt your feelings. And they're gonna show you exactly how they are. They're gonna show you exactly how they look. Jason was in my gym, the gym I train at, 3 weeks ago with his shirt off. That's how he fucking looks on Instagram. The dude ain't faking the funk. But half these guys, you see them on social media and then you see them at a trade show. We can ever have them after these stupid lockdowns. You see them at a trade show and you're like, who the fuck is that guy? And the bottom line is, it's not the same guy. It's a animated, enhanced version of that guy, which is good because that's what you want to see. You give the people what they want. Nobody wants to see Kai Green do normal I've trained with these pro bodybuilders. Most of them do average. Their training isn't that intense. Most pro bodybuilders, I don't like training with them because their training is weak. They are genetic freaks who are on chemicals that I might not want to be taking. That's the real truth of the matter. So we're over here, we're pretending like we're up in arms and every YouTuber's out there clickbaiting. I'm not gonna clickbait this. I'm not gonna put anybody's name. Oh, look at that. My beautiful wife is delivering coffee to me. Why? Because I'm like a boss. All right, I'll see you in a minute. Get naked. What I'm getting at, guys, is the reason these guys, it's delicious, by the way, Pachamama Coffee and Ritual AM. The reason I'm saying this is because you guys are gonna see this over and over. Just like we have the same kind of things happen during every election cycle, we're gonna see the same kind of things happen every time YouTube gets boring and we're out of topics. Look, at the end of the day, there's not many things to do. Because of the lockdowns, there's not many booty pictures. Everybody's tired of seeing the Instagram girls do their little band workouts. It isn't me doing my band workouts. So they're struggling for information. So what do? You attack the largest guy in fitness YouTube and you go and tell him that, hey, you know what? He's using fake weights. And oh, by the way, he's also not natty. So now it's like everybody just attack the popular guy and that's how you do it. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not mad at Jeff for using fake weights if he is using fake weights. I'm not mad at Jeff for being on HRT. The dude's he's an older guy. Like, he should be on HRT. I'm not mad at the other YouTubers calling him out for clout because that's what it's about. And you guys want to see it, period. You pretend like, oh my God, they're using fake weights. You're clicking, somebody's watching this shit. Like, they're getting the clicks. But I will stand by forever me calling out Brad Castleberry because that was strictly to manipulate everybody to get money for charity. Absolutely. I wanted to create a buzz. And there was this big thing going on about Castleberry fake weights. Everybody's doing videos on it. So I called his ass out. And guess what? If he wasn't such a bitch and he wasn't using fake weights, he'd have met me in Ohio. I offered to pay for a first-class flight. I offered to pay for a hotel. I offered to even get him a hooker. And the guy would not take me up on any of those offers. I would have gone for just the hooker. But at the end of the day, that's what it is. And when you call these guys out, they will back away. However, Jeff, I saw this. He challenged one of the guys and said, look, I will take all the tests you want. I'll fly you out here. And then guess what? If I'm right, you have to disband your channel. If you're right, I will pay you $1 million. That's putting your money where your mouth is. And that just shows me I am not calling out AthleanX. He will make me look stupid like he made homie look stupid. Greg Doucette, that was the guy who made me look stupid. But anyway, that's it. I haven't watched any of this bull in a while, but it's like the notifications keep popping up and I had to go in there. There it is, the fake weight thing again. But again, y'all created this monster by watching it because it's what you want to see. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate everything. And if you need anything, you can find me on Instagram. I don't usually partake in the comment section on YouTube because it's toxic. Instagram, Marc Lobliner. Twitter, @Marc Lobliner. Facebook, @Marc Lobliner. Basically everything, including Grindr, Tinder, and Pornhub, @Marc Lobliner. Anyway, just kidding about that one. Anyway, guys, talk to you next time. That's not a game.